Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We are also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe to iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 107. And yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. We want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We greatly appreciate it. Heidi recently had a birthday. She's awesome. So much love to Heidi. And again, much thanks to her and the whole Wrestling Rumors gang. We do appreciate the love. So episode 106 was Super Showdown, Fallout, and Crown Jewel. We talked about match results from Super Showdown that happened down under. Super Showdown under. Why did I never make that joke? Till now. And we also talked about the controversy surrounding Crown Jewel. So, how's everyone doing out there? Everyone good? So we're already off and running. We've hit the ground running here, folks. Virginia, what's up? Welcome to the show. Michael, welcome. Let's see. Linda, that was WWE's attempt to get Becky booed, and once again it backfired. By the way, I just finished a column today on the whole Becky Lynch heel turn thing because we haven't talked it to death enough, right? I mean, I'm doing it too. Trust me. You guys aren't the only ones. But so I wrote that column. It will post on the Chairshot sometime this weekend. Probably tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow or Sunday. I can't tell you which day. Usually Sunday. Sometimes late Saturday. And just be on the lookout for that. And I'll post it on my page also. You guys can take a chance to, or take a moment to read it. So I cover a lot of that stuff. But yeah, so how's everybody doing? How's everyone been? Has everyone had a good week so far? My week has been chaotic, to say the least, for various different reasons. I'm glad it's over. As my mom would say, don't wish your life away, son. So that's something I try to tell my kid as well. But like with my mom, I never listen. I don't think he's listening either. So talk about time moving on, dude. The October 29th edition of Monday Night Raw is just around the corner. Yours truly will be going with his son, his little sidekick. And I am contemplating when we get into the building, into the Charlotte Coliseum, I'm contemplating going live before the dark matches happen. And just doing a quick, hey, we're here, awesome, yay, and show you the ring and all that stuff. I'm thinking about it. That actually came to me today. Andrew is asking, is it true the Crown Jewel got canceled? No, Crown Jewel has not been canceled, Andrew. We were talking about some of that last week. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's not been canceled. There's been talk maybe they will move the event. I don't know where they think they're going to move it to. Supposedly it would still happen in Saudi Arabia, but somewhere else. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be where it is. I think it would be flat out where it is, or they would just reschedule it. But I'll be honest with you, time's ticking. The time's ticking away for this thing if they're going to reschedule. At this point, I don't think it's going to happen. That's just me talking. Do I think it should happen? We talked about this last week a little bit. Yeah, Darren's already talked about SmackDown. We're going to get there, Darren. We are, I promise you. In fact, that's the first thing we're going to hit today on the show. But yeah, man, as far as Crown Jewel is concerned, I have mixed emotions on it. I think it's very obvious that something foul has happened. This reporter has disappeared. To my knowledge, they have not found him as of yet. It doesn't look good. And, you know, let's look past pro wrestling and the whole Middle East thing for a second, if you can. And let's just say, if all the best to him and his fiance, his family, for real. We tend to lose the human element in the talk of all the wrestling stuff. And sometimes we forget there's real people, real lives involved. A lot more important than a 20 by 20 ring, folks. Life and death, much more important, okay? So we hope that he's found. We hope that he's safe. We don't give up. It doesn't look good, no, but don't give up. On the off chance that he's okay, let's hope for the best. You know what I mean? And that I hope that he's found and he's all right. Let's I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Jonathan just said Manchester. There's been rumors about moving the show to England. I don't know. As of right now, this moment, when we went live 2 minutes ago, no, there's been nothing announced officially. Would I be shocked if they were talking about it? Not at all. I think you got to keep your options open. I think that's smart. I think you have to do that for the sake of your event, for the sake of your performers, a lot of whom don't want to go. And you can understand where they're coming from on that. That's what I'm hearing, is that they don't want to go and that there's internal conversations being had. They interviewed TMZ grabbed Randy Orton in the airport and asked him what he thought. And I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's like reprinting that comments, printing that story. And I'm like, he didn't say anything groundbreaking to me. No offense. I took it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's one guy's opinion. I don't know. I don't think it's anything that they're being told. You know what I mean? I just got a ding on there. What was that? Did you guys hear that? That was hugely loud. Hey, man, like I said, there's no such thing as a mistake when you're live. We meant to do that, folks. But, yeah. So, Dennis, what's up? Staten Island in the house. Great show as always. Thank you, Dennis. Stick around, brother. Michael says hi, everybody. All right. We are going here. We are recording. We're doing our thing. Let's go ahead and get to the show, man. You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. There you go. That is my Star Wars reference. I was going to say for the day, for the next 2 seconds, because I'm going to have more than likely. So this time out, let's get to it, folks. This time out, the main event is Batista, SmackDown 1000, and the Bullet Club. There's a vast array of topics, yes, but exciting and action-packed nonetheless. It's thrill fest. It's thrill fest, folks. Action every moment. Not to be believed, right? So, yeah, okay. Rematch after the show, Tom. What kind of rematch we talking about there, Orlando? By the way, I love the name Orlando. If that is your real name. I said that to someone last week and they took great offense to it. I say everything in good humor, folks. Relax. Let's see. Why didn't The Rock show up on SmackDown on Tuesday? Russell, fantastic question. He should have been there. Listen, am I wrong? Did he even have a pre-recorded message? I have watched the event. It was on DVR. I didn't get to watch it live for various different reasons. But did he have a pre-recorded message? Like, he wasn't live via satellite, was he? I honestly don't know if he was or not. Isn't that funny? Oh, I whooped him in Facebook bowling. I did? I'm sorry. I haven't played that in a bit. But yeah, sure. I'm probably better at the Facebook bowling than I am bowling real life. My best game in real life, 170 something, I think. 171, something like that. Yeah, that was a good day. I'm not what you would call an ace bowler by any means necessary. I mean, at all, Rock tweeted. Rick says The Rock tweeted, well, hey, at least The Rock could be bothered to use his thumbs, right? I'm sorry. I'm playing. I don't care. It's nothing to me. It didn't ruin my night one way or the other. Does he have a commitment to come back whenever WWE picks the phone up or asks him to? No, not necessarily. He's got his own life, he's got his own career, got things to do. I get that. Could he have maybe recorded something? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they put it on the show. I don't know. That's just me. Like I said, it didn't ruin my day at all. But 135, I hear you. Yeah, he had a statement made on Twitter. Yeah, I missed that. There you go. So let's jump on this sucker right out the gate. I want to talk about Batista. First of all, SmackDown 1000 took place in Washington, D.C., of course, which is Batista's hometown. We all know this. And it was the absolute best crowd to put Batista in front of if you want to bring this guy back in a babyface in any capacity. Because I'm going to tell you something. The power of suggestion is huge. And stay with me here. The power of suggestion is huge. And here's what I'm saying. you can watch that at home, and even if you hate the guy, even if you're like, God, I don't want to see him. Gee, I'm so sick of the veterans. I'm so sick of this. The old guys. You know, it's the old crew. I don't know. It's the senior tour of WWE, folks. Stay tuned for that. They'll have Canes and Walkers. I'm playing. So you can say all that and you can hate on the guy, but when you sit back and you watch that promo, I don't care how much you don't like him. You're like, that's pretty good. That wasn't bad at all. Like, here's what people want. You want to know what people want? Your people. I'll tell you what you want. I'm like, Vince, I'll tell them what they want. They'll want it because I say so. That's not true. Whatever. Here's what people want. They want reality. That's it. They want the man or woman to be as real as possible. Those moments when even the one you hate the most takes a second and says, look, I know you love to cheer and you love to boo whoever you want, and that's cool, but I got to tell you, straight up, I love performing here. I love wrestling in front of you guys. Thank you for giving me the platform. That gets a round of applause every time. You want to know why? Not because you're kissing their hind ends. You could say that. But the fact is, you're being real. And you're peeling back the curtain, pulling back the curtain just for a moment in time to let people look back in there at you and wave it. That's what it is. So people appreciate that. Batista was very real to me. He came off like a human. He came off like not a movie star. He didn't come off like the ego was controlling everything he said. He didn't come off like he was scripted. But the first thing out of his mouth was, and I'm a little nervous, I got to tell you, was all that done to get you on his side? Don't be shocked if it was. Honestly, they know what they're doing. The WWE can say what it doesn't matter. Oh, well, this happened. It doesn't matter. They know what they're doing. They got enough people behind the scenes to know what to put in a guy's mouth to make it work. And Batista's smart. He's not an idiot. He knows what to do as well. So I think the two of those things working together, they knew exactly how to present this thing where Batista was going to get a pop, even though it wasn't his hometown. That could have went south, right? Right? But it didn't. And he took full advantage of it, and I think that it went great. Luz says, I'm so sorry for that. Says, but Miss Lopez, how about that? Says, Batista was amazing. I liked it. Yes, James, I reckon he's back. James Ellsworth in Impact, I know. Oh my God. But do I think Batista will ever be a champion again? I don't think they should go down that road. I think if you want Batista to be babyface, you need to keep him as far away from that title as humanly possible. That's it. I think it's a bad idea. Not because he couldn't do it. I'm sure he can do it. But the fact is, if this is what you want, you meaning the company, if you want this guy to be babyface and to be cheered, which is what they wanted before and it didn't work, right? It just went to pieces. But if that's what you really want, you got to keep him as far away from that belt as possible, as long as AJ Styles has it. And honestly, you need to keep him away from Roman too. That shouldn't be happening. Because Roman's already dealing with stuff. People already be hating Roman because it's Roman. You don't want to. Roman needs a strong, rock solid, 100% heel to work against. That's not Batista. Could he be? Sure. But do you want to go there? Do you really want to? Roman Reigns versus Batista? I don't know how. Come on. You know what I mean? No disrespect to either guy, but I don't think I want that. Shannon says, loved how Randy stayed in his heel character the whole time. To Shannon's point, yes, he did. And he should. He's the only full-time guy left in the ring out there. Okay? And so he's got to continue putting over his character. If Randy were part-time, wrestled only occasionally, you probably wouldn't hear that much out of him. Maybe a little bit just to serve the character. But he's got to maintain that image. He's got to maintain that persona. So yeah, I fully expected that to happen. I think it was nice. The moment he started running his mouth, I'm like, that makes sense, right? How about the bit where Batista told Flair to keep it in his pants? By the way, go look that video up on WWE's YouTube channel. They have deleted that little bit. Took that sucker right out and said, nope, can't do that. Okay? That's funny. Let's see. Jason, I heard to distract from Crown Jewel, they're going to be putting the World Championship with Daniel Bryan. I don't exactly believe that at all. It would just be the worst thing ever. I disagree with it being the worst thing ever. I disagree with that, Jason. If you mean in terms of it'd be a shame if AJ lost it right now, I'll buy that. But in terms of putting on Daniel as the worst thing ever, I disagree with that totally. That's just me. Let's see. You're making too much of one appearance. Batista's come back full time. I never say he was going to come back full time. Dave is always hot. Dave, am I wrong? Are you the Dave that I'm thinking of? We've got a couple Daves, I think. Dave's always fired up about something. Dave, relax. Did I say he was going to come back full time? I didn't say that. He's going to come back and work Triple H. I'd be shocked if he didn't do it. He wants to work again. Forget about SmackDown. Forget about all the stuff about the way he left, the things he said when he left. In one of his most recent interviews, he made the comment that he loves the business. He misses it every day. I doubt he said that to come in for a one-shot payday on SmackDown 1000. Come on. He wants to come back and work Hunter. They're going to make it happen. Never say never. For real. No, he's not going to come back full-time. No, I don't think he will. No chance. And by the way, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, because Dave mentioned it, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 supposedly is going to begin production in 2021. Yikes. That's a little while to wait, because James Gunn moved on. He's going to write and direct Suicide Squad Part 2. So the competition got him, man. We'll see how that plays out. I didn't much care for the first Suicide Squad, but then again, I'm not a huge DC Extended Universe fan. I just haven't been. Not all that much, to be honest with you. Jim says Batista's great, and if it's the last run to put him in the Hall of Fame and match with Triple H, might get into that. Yeah, so I could too. Yeah, and I think it's going to happen. I think, Jim, great point, man. Yeah, to lead with Batista getting the Hall of Fame. Oh my God, yeah, sure. Why not? Listen. It's not a Jim. Don't anyone come at me about, oh, well, he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Stop. The Hall of Fame is owned by one guy. You can love it as much as you want, and you can criticize it as much as you want. It's one guy's call, and that's Vince McMahon. That's it. He says yes or no at the end of the day. It's his Hall of Fame. It's not voted on by the fans. It's not an assortment of pro wrestling writers that get to cast their vote. That's not it at all. You know what I mean? This is simply put, one guy's decision, one guy's call. That's what it is, folks. So, anyway. But yeah, I see that. Dave says WWE Hall of Fame is a joke. You're not alone. A lot of people feel that way. But all right, Dave, here's my comeback, because I'll play devil's advocate with you, because for some reason I like doing that with you. I don't know why. Here's my comeback to that. If not the WWE Hall of Fame, then who? New Japan? Impact? NWA? Great. No one's going to care in terms of mass pro wrestling fandom in this country. We're talking about mainstream pop culture, mainstream media. No one's going to care. Doesn't mean it's not important. I'm not trying to devalue any other Hall of Fame out there, or the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I'm not trying to devalue that at all. But I'm saying WWE is the voice of pro wrestling in this country to the masses. So if they don't have a Hall of Fame, who's going to, though? Anyone would care about. It's important. It is important, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. See what I get? Sick calling the Hall of Fame a joke with the celebrities that are in, and plus there's no building, at least not yet. If there was a building, would that make you feel better, Jason? And listen, the part about the celebrities, you gotta let that go. You don't have to let it go. It's fine. You can choose to hate that stuff all day long. I can't do it. I can't. I used to lose sleep over that. I lost sleep over Coco Beware and a lot of other things. It's their Hall of Fame. I didn't get a say so. If I did and they didn't listen to me, I'd be upset. I don't really care. It's fine. Do whatever they want. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing. So I don't. Trust me. Listen, this no joke. When you write about this stuff for 8 years straight, and you go through the motions. You go through like an evolution. No pun intended. You go through an evolution in the process of, God, I care about this. I really care about this. I got to write this down. Oh my God, my fingers are burning. I'm writing this so fast. I can't wait to get my point out there and get people to believe it. Get on board. And then after like 6 months of writing the same thing over and over and over again, you're like, yeah, no, I don't really care anymore. It's not that you lose your passion for it, but there's other stuff to talk about. And you just have to accept what's in front of you. This too shall pass. I'm very zen when it comes to my writing these days, folks. Hulk Hogan return on November 2nd. Let's hope not, Michael. I'm sorry. If he wants to come in and do the thing with the ear and the rip the shirt and all that, okay, fine, whatever. Just don't let him work. Please don't let him work. That's just me talking. No disrespect. Just don't care to see him in the ring again. That's just me. Let's see. Switch topics to the women of WWE. Well, Richard, listen, Richard Bark. I love that name. Don't be telling me what to do, Richard. This is my show. Jeez, God, what's wrong with you people? I'm playing. Relax. Welcome to the show, Richard. we've talked a lot about, Richard, have you ever watched the show before? We talk about Evolution all the time. Since day one, I think. Listen, real quick, so we can get back to SmackDown. I'm all for Evolution. I hope it's a hit. Hope it's a massive success. I read a headline. I didn't read the column because I didn't want to waste my time. I don't like negativity. I'm sorry, I don't. Okay, but the headline was like, "This is going to be a failure." Some nonsense. Evolution is going to fail. It's going to be mediocre. Thanks. Way to go. Way to crap on something before it even happens. Don't you think there's a little bit too much negativity in the business on our end? For real? Can we just relax and just appreciate something? Give it a shot? Am I going to say I don't jump to the laptop and write first reaction? Sure I do. Of course. Sometimes I have to do it. It's my job. But at the same time, sometimes you got to take a step back and breathe. I didn't choose to do that one day this week. I'm not going to tell you what context I'm talking about. But something happened. Instead of taking a step back and taking a beat and counting to 3 and breathing and calming down, I just burst out. It was a bad move. I shouldn't have done it. It was dumb. And I don't want to be dumb all the time. I'm expected to be dumb sometimes because I'm a dude. And dudes can be idiots. We can, guys. Don't lie. So, yeah. But anyway, that's just me. I'm not going to crap on it. I hope it's a massive hit. So how are we feeling? Does anyone want to see Batista versus Triple H? Is anyone caring about it? Be honest. You don't have to be nice because it's me asking. Just tell me how you really feel. Bonnie thinks it'll be awesome. Evolution, I agree. Product hasn't been good. Why can't people be on? I missed your comment, dude. Why can't people be? I didn't say people couldn't be honest. Oh my gosh. I didn't say people can't be honest. I didn't say you can't voice your displeasure. Of course you can. For me, I just read so much negativity and I see, I got to take something good out of it. If I watch the 2-hour SmackDown and I tell you this, Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura got 8 minutes. That's a shame. They should have had 15. And they should have. I'm sorry. They didn't have enough time to do anything. They rushed through the match so they could rush to get The Undertaker coming out and saying 3 words and he left. I didn't like that. I'm not going to focus on that. I thought the New Day and the Bar had a good match. I liked that the titles changed hands. I actually liked the fact that Big Show came down and helped the Bar win. Why? Because it's unexpected. It's different. I know what you're saying. It's just not different for him, Tom. He switches all the time. It's who he is. There again, I can fight that all day long, and I wrote a bunch of columns about it too in my time, but what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Was I in love with the entire program? No. Was I satisfied with it? I'm fairly satisfied with it. I think it could have been better. Of course it could have. Every wrestling event I've ever seen or been to could have been better, but, I try to take something positive out of it. That's just me talking. I'm not saying you can't be critical of something. Part of my job is to criticize. That's how I get my opinions, right? I'm just saying, when there's just so much negativity thrown at something, I'm just telling you what I think. Let's see. I know you knew Owen Hart. Time for him to be in the Hall of Fame. I love Owen Hart. He is. It's still continues to be maybe the biggest. Well, not maybe. It's the biggest black mark on that company, in my opinion, because of the way he died. It didn't have to happen. It was unnecessary, right? Yeah, Hall of Fame, 100%. Absolutely. Long time coming, needs to happen. But you know what? The family needs to be in agreement on that. It's not enough that fans want it. And in some world, maybe it is, but it's not in this world. Because you have to be respectful to his family. Everyone in his family. Not a couple, not just his brothers, his wife, everyone. Listen, you have to be respectful. That's it. Forget the lawsuits and all that other stuff and put that out of your mind for a moment. Just remember, you have to, if you've ever lost someone, you know what it's like. It's terrible. It's gut-wrenching. It's earth-shattering. It's life-changing. And you have to pay respect, and you have to handle things with kid gloves sometimes, even years after the fact. But yeah, to your point, definitely should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think you're right. They're waiting on the family. So, Batista versus Triple H in a 60-man Iron Man pillow fight. If this were the Attitude Era, I would say that's how they would book the women. It's the lingerie pillow fight. That's good stuff. Brian asked thoughts on the best ever, whatever they're calling the tournament. I think it's kind of dumb. Oh, Brian's not wrong. But listen, they can call it whatever they want to call it. I don't really care. But I got to tell you something. If you are not looking forward to anything at Crown Jewel, if you don't care about anything they're going to do, if you look at Crown Jewel and say it shouldn't be happening, or it's a mistake, or it shouldn't be here, or shouldn't be there, and this is nonsense, and I don't want to see the old guys back, and I just want to hate stuff. Hey man, go with God. I'm completely fine with that, but listen to this. Wrap your head around this. Just for a second, just try to let go of all the other stuff and just think about this. The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio. A dude halfway through that match. It's a Hall of Fame worthy main event anywhere on the planet. Now it's all 8 guys. Is it too many guys? Yeah. Oh my God, it's too many guys, right? But having said that, all 8 guys are going to duke it out in this tournament, and they're going to decide the best in the world. Blah. Yeah, you're right. It sounds hokey, and no, it's not the best in the world. CM Punk's the best in the world. Ha ha! I'm playing. Relax. This is ridiculous. Punk hasn't wrestled in years. Sorry, Kazuchika Okada's the best in the world. Straight up. Okay, AJ Styles. All right? AJ Styles and Okada. 1 and 2. Fine. Kenny Omega may be in the conversation. I just likes to stir stuff up, yo. So, Tammy just said Batista and Triple H awesome. See, there's some people that want to see it. You got to admit this World Cup is ridiculous. Yeah. Is it only? That's not only Americans, Jason. I got you there, brother. It's not only Americans. Rey Mysterio is Latino. I'm just saying. Is any of them Canadian? None of them's Canadian, are they? Hardy's a Carolina boy. We know he's not Canadian. Yeah. So close. You're close. No, listen. Can I disagree that can I agree that calling it the best in the world is silly? Oh yeah, for sure. It's goofy. But I'm not losing any sleep over it. I think it's going to be good. That's just what I think. And see, nobody can touch Kenny, not even Okada. Ooh, Dave again with the fastball, man. I'm telling you. How do I feel about SmackDown moving to Fox and then wanting it more action than comedy in between the matches? And should it be as long as Raw? That's a big question. I don't much care for the comedy all the time. I think there's moments of it that's fine. Would I prefer for it to be more action? Yeah, of course. I'm the Territories fan, remember? I'm the guy that grew up watching Rick versus Dusty. Of course I want more action. Of course I want more dramatic storylines and tension and drama and betrayal and suspects and all. Dude, I love that stuff. For real. Yeah, of course I want more action. Do I think it should be 3 hours worth? Dude, people continue to hate on Raw. This is too long. I can't watch it all. Then turn the channel. Okay? Listen to me. This is directed at all the people out there. The Raw is too long. I can't. Then turn it and shut up. You have a clicker. Click, turn it, and be quiet about it. It's real simple. It's not that you're complaining about the content. Like Dave made the point earlier that it's boring and the product's not good. Okay, I get that. But when you say to me, that's too long, stop watching. Period. My God. Watch an hour and then go mow the yard. Do something else out with your time. I don't care. But, and people talk about, there's too much. Oh, it's too much. Let me give you a quick story, then we'll move on with the rest of our day, shall we? I'm a huge comic book fan. Always have been, always will be. Okay? I remember being a teenager and dying over the fact that there was no such thing as a comic book movie. Imagine a world with no comic book movies. And the 1 or 2 you had were utter disasters. Utter disasters. Okay? And you're sitting back as a fan going, God, I can't believe we can't get anything. There's nothing on TV. There's no movies. They can't do this. It's not meant to happen. They can't get it right. This is terrible. And now look at the world we live in today. I was the same way with my pro wrestling. I had an hour every Saturday, which I loved and I was happy with. I had the weekend shows. That's all I had. Now I've got an entire network. I've got streaming services, more than one, to show me matches from 40, 50 years ago. Dude, I've never been happier. Make Raw 5 hours. I don't care. It doesn't mean I have to like it or I have to watch, but dude, I'm going to watch. I'm a pro wrestling fan. Okay? That's me. I take as much in as possibly can. I watched a lot of wrestling in the past 3 days, trust me. I love every second of it. So should SmackDown be 3 hours now that I've vented? I don't know. I think it'd be fine with 2. A tight 2 hours with action packed? I buy that for $1 all day long. Yes, Dave says they're going to do it. Yeah, there's talk about, oh man, I so want to do a comic book podcast, folks. I'm not even kidding. WWE is like soap in the UK. Look up our soap on YouTube, but we all love it. Keith's in the UK. Keith. What's up, Keith Hall? I think I have talked to you before, brother, about where you live. You can tell I'm such a stateside, podunk, right? I'm just like, oh, there's somebody from another country. It's awesome. It's terrible. Anyway, hi to Keith. But Chris, also in the UK. Hey, all right. Best crowd ever. Oh, yeah. Didn't Hunter recently say that Wembley, that wasn't such a great show? I haven't listened to the thing. I don't know in what context he was talking about. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Hey, thanks, Keith. What's up? NXT UK. Oh, Jonathan Shaw. Are you any relation to Sebastian Shaw of the Hellfire Club? Anyone? Okay. So NXT UK did happen. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Here's why I liked it. Y'all want to know? Did you hear that as the Southerner? Y'all want to know something? Jeez. I fight that, my friends. It's hard. It's really hard. So here's why I love it. Here's why I really love it. Okay. The look of the show is so much different than anything else WWE is putting on TV. It doesn't look like NXT. It doesn't look like SmackDown. It doesn't look like Raw. It is just, it's dark. It's gritty. It's got its own unique look. That's why I love. You're used to seeing that NXT now. It doesn't really matter. You're just like, oh, it's the yellow and the black. Okay, cool. But at the time, you're like, well, this is different. Just the colors are different. The colors in NXT UK are just, I love the presentation of it. I love it. I love how the crowd responds to everything that happens. I love how it's a smaller crowd. It's more intimate setting. I'm a fan of NXT UK. Yay, another brand for Tom to watch and not spend any time with his family. It's not as bad as all that, but like I said, I watch a lot, my man. I'm just saying. But yeah, Pete Dunne. Keep that. But by the way, Pete Dunne's up to 516 days as UK champion, longest reigning champion in the modern era in WWE. Never take the belt off him again, ever. Period. Ever. I don't know. But man, he's doing such a good job, right? Such a bang up job. Mark Andrews versus Joe Coffey. The Coffey brothers look very good, by the way. Powerhouse, man. Demolition. Should have saved that tag team name, WWE. They could have been Demolition. Come on. I'm not talking about the paint, Mr. Fuji. I'm just saying. Toni Storm versus Nina Samuels. Good match as well. Pete Dunne, Noam Dar. You knew Noam Dar was talented. You didn't know he was that talented. Man, that guy can work. He doesn't get enough credit. Here's what I think, because I was thinking about NXT UK last night, and it occurred to me about 205 Live. Here's what I wish. I wish sometimes you could take a certain program. Long live the Bruiserweight. Hail to the Bruiserweight. So, here's what I was thinking. Take any of the WWE's programs and put the match in front of a New Japan crowd or a Ring of Honor crowd. And it would be a much different viewing experience. And here's why. And I'm not trying to be one of those indie wrestling snobs and say, WWE's just garbage. I'm not trying to do that. Relax. But here's what I'm saying to you. When I watch the WWE product, oftentimes I watch the crowd and I listen to what the crowd is saying. And I'm really, really paying attention. And like when they don't react the way I think they should, I get frustrated. And when they do react the way I think they should, I'm like, yes. But then they chant, this is awesome. It was an arm drag. That wasn't awesome. You see what I mean? And then like Rey does the dive through underneath the bottom rope. And they chant, you still got it. Where have you been? Rey Mysterio's never stopped wrestling. He's been wrestling. He wrestled last week. What are you talking about? You still got it. Like, what? I let that stuff get to me, and I shouldn't. It's lame. I shouldn't do it, okay? So, if you can, and here's an idea, and I know it takes away from the experience. Watch a match that you feel like the crowd should have been more there for, and then watch it again with the volume turned off. And tell me it's not a different experience. I don't think you can do anything to change it. It's just me venting again. So, but yes, to answer your question, took me a long time to get there. I'm a huge fan of NXT UK. Robert says, I miss territory system. Robert, fist bump, my friend. I love the loser leave town hair versus hair matches. There was too many of them, man. Trust me. Southeastern Championship Wrestling is what I had. Tennessee Stud, Rod Fuller, Bullet Bob Armstrong, Austin Allen, the Freebirds are my favorites. Oh my God, Robert, be preaching up in here. Get on the soapbox, dude. Preach a sermon. I'm right there with you. Bo from Kentucky says, hello. Hello, Bo in Kentucky. This is Tom from North Kakalaka. That's how JYD pronounced it. I've been watching wrestling for over 50 years. Tell me one thing I know, it's all scripted, but do they practice and rehearse with each other before the match? Bo has a valid question. Bo, what's up? I will tell you this. As a guy who was in the business for a few years, I've seen both. I've seen guys that have worked each other so much they don't need to talk before the match. They're taping their wrists and they say hello and shake hands. They might hang out a little bit before the match behind the curtain. They'll say, what do you want to do? Well, I want to run this. Okay, cool. I want to run this. Sounds good. How do you want to take it home? Let's do this. They tell the ref, boom, you're done. No kidding. Then I've seen other guys, this is usually the younger cats, who are in a corner of the dressing room. This is no joke. They're in a corner of the dressing room physically playing out the match. Like, okay, boom, lock up, cross under, come back, clothesline, duck this, arm. And they're actually physically going slow motion, calling it out. Yeah, so it works both ways. Go back and watch Flair versus Steamboat, as I know you've seen, Bo, 1,000 times. I have as well, and I'll watch 1,000 more. Thank you very much. But go back and watch those matches. They never speak to each other. Rock and Rolls and the Midnights never speak to each other. They didn't have to. They worked each other so much, and plus they were so good. They didn't need to speak. Sting, when they put him in the black and white and everything, go back and see how many times you saw Sting actually speak during the match. He didn't need to. You see what I mean? Didn't have to call spots. They knew already. They were so good they knew. You see what I mean? So for a lot of guys, there's no rehearsing. Now I will tell you this real quick, and we got to get back to the show. In Ric Flair's book, To Be the Man, which, by the way, if you don't have a copy of, well, I can't really get it off my shelf. I got too much stuff on my shelf. But you know what? For you, I'll do it. If you don't have a copy of To Be the Man, you got to get one. I highly recommend this book. It was, I think it was ghost written by someone else. The intro is by Mark Madden. We won't go there. But it's an excellent book. So if you don't have To Be the Man, you got to get this book. But in this book, Flair discusses the classic match between Steamboat and Savage, the one that everybody and their brother talks about. This is the greatest match of all time. I've never seen a match any better than this one. This is amazing. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but you should know that Randy Savage rehearsed this match. He had a ring at his home in Florida, and Steamboat had to fly down, and they rehearsed this match for like a month before. Full spots, full runs, full match from start to finish, opening bell, ending bell. Does that take away from the match? No. But after knowing that, does it change your opinion of it? That it wasn't more fluid and natural? Rick's point was not to bury it. And I hate the word bury, okay? That wasn't Rick's point. Rick's point was you have to be able to be more fluid in the ring. You have to... Was it a good match? Yeah. Was it a classic? Not in my opinion. That was where he was coming from. If you're going to listen to anyone's opinion, don't worry about me. Worry about Ric Flair, okay? I mean, he should count, yes? And he also had a comment about Brett where he didn't bury Brett either. Relax. But he said, Brett had to do the same thing every time. He wouldn't switch it up. He had to do it in this order. He did it in this order every time, and that's it. And if you try to change it, he went nuts on you. He couldn't have it. And he's like, you got to be able to get in the ring and keep yourself open and be fluid and keep moving and not be static and stuck in one place the whole time. So I see that point. And again, if I'm going to listen to anybody, it's going to be Flair. Bo, you are welcome. Bear's hair match when Austin Idol versus Jerry Lawler. In the end, Tommy Rich is under the ring for 6 hours. You're right. He was. Oh, my God. It was a long time. Let's see. Is it planned for attacks like Randy Orton did to Jeff? Of course, Andrew. Absolutely. Someone just asked about Roman and Cena. Okay, so let's get back to Roman and Cena. But yeah, the rule of thumb is this. For something that major, of course it's talked about. Of course they plan ahead of time. Yeah. The rule of thumb is if I'm going to touch you, you're going to know it. I remember, real quick, story time. Do you guys know that dude on Facebook? He was on Vine. My kid's obsessed with him. I don't even know the guy's name. Whatever. Anyway, quick story. So I came out one night, and the guys I was managing, I was a heel manager. I was managing my guys, and we came out, and we were out there, and we were talking junk. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I know what happened. So we were talking junk, and the match goes on, and they drape the guy over the second rope. And I knew what my cues were. Okay. When the guy gets draped over the second rope and then my guy grabs the ref and pulls him this way, that's my cue. So I used to wear a skull ring on this ring finger, and I'm a righty. So I came up and I clocked him, bam, right upside the forehead. He swears that I didn't pull my punch, and he wasn't mad, but he's like, dude, I got the skull imprint. I'm like, I don't see a thing. You are lying right now. I don't know if he was ribbing me or what, but he was legit. Well, nothing bad happened. He took it in good humor. Well, the next week, same tag match happened. So I'm in the corner and I'm like coaching my guys or whatever. He comes up behind me and flips the hat off of my head. Like flips it off and pops me in the back of the head. It wasn't a big deal. I sold it like I was shot because I was surprised. I didn't know he was going to do it. So my tag team jumped him in the middle of the ring and beat the dog out of him. They were throwing some good stiff shots. And after the match, he's like, why did your guys do that to me? And one of my guys looked at him and said, you hit our manager. What do you think we're going to do? You're pucking us out. If you hit him, we have to, you see? But I didn't know he was going to touch me. And he was told, no uncertain terms, don't touch him again unless he knows. I didn't raise a stink because I want to be a team player. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. No worries. But in my head, I'm going, dude, you could have at least gave me a heads up. You're coming at me. So there's the answer to that question. All right. So Thomas Sanders, that's it. Andrew got it. So Homer, Michigan. What's up, Robert? So anyway, we don't have to continue to talk about Batista and Triple H. We got a few feelers out there. I'll sum it up for you like this. And I'm going to ask that you check it out. Wrestling Rumors, the very website that's hosting this event right now, folks. Is the right time for Batista? Is it the right time for Batista versus Triple H and WWE? And I posted that today, actually. So go check out that column. So I wrote a lot about that, and I still hold to it that I think that this can be good for business. I think that the match itself can be good. I think it can be a success. I think that Batista can come in and have a good match. Here's what I think about Hunter and Batista. Since you asked me, I'll tell you. Here's what I think. Dave's never looked as good against anybody else as he has Batista. He never did that level of business, and he did good business with Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. He never did that level of business with anyone else that he did with Hunter. Hunter made him look better than I think than Batista's ever looked with anyone else in his entire pro wrestling career. Now, you tell me that those guys are going to they're going to mix it up again. Yeah, I'm sure. You know what I mean? I think the match will be good. I think it'll be fine. So, I'm torn on this. On one hand, I look at it and it's like, oh, Tom, it's veterans, and they shouldn't be taking time from the younger guys and all this other stuff, and I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, if the match is going to be fun and entertaining and worth watching, I think I'm all for it, and I think it'll be fine. Batista's got a lot, and I make this point in the column as well, by the way. Batista's got a lot of goodwill built up because of his role as Drax the Destroyer in the Marvel Universe and Guardians of the Galaxy. And Avengers. He has. And I think that people view him now in a different light than they did in 2014. Right? Don't you? I think a lot of us do. Right? I didn't hate him to begin with. I was always critical of Batista because I said he was punch and kick and punch and kick and punch and kick and punch and kick. And to me, that's not wrestling. However, this is coming from the guy that didn't make a full-time career out of punching and kicking in the ring. I did it for that long, and most of the time I was a manager or writing storylines behind the scenes. So what do I know? I can tell you what I saw up close and what happened to me in my personal experiences, but these guys live it on the road every day. Every day. So, But the wrestling can be defined in different ways depending on what you're talking about at that certain moment. So, whatever. But I would like to see it. I don't know. Like I said, I can see both points of it. If someone has a problem with it, I can see where they're coming from. I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over it because honestly, I can see where you're coming from on it if you don't like it. So, anyway, where were we? So let's talk a little bit about SmackDown 1000. I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about the show overall? Because I'm telling you, I thought that it had its moments. I liked the Big Show coming down. Honestly, I did. I thought it was just fine. I didn't have a problem with it at all. But I try to be open-minded, to be honest with you. Forgive me for doing something here, folks. I got caught up doing something real quick. My apologies. But I can see where somebody would say, well, the show was disappointing. It was kind of a letdown in some regard. But, kudos to the men and women that got in the ring and got the work done and everyone that gave maximum effort for your entertainment. I always appreciate that, if we can be honest with each other. So I can't hate on that at all. Keith says that would be one heck of a match, but I would be behind the game. I think as long as the match was good, everybody wins. You know what I'm saying? Especially us at home or in the arena watching. Let's see. Hope Becky versus Charlotte. Someone just said Becky versus Charlotte is boring. See, that brings up an interesting point. And the piece I just wrote for the Chairshot about Becky and Charlotte. Interesting that you bring that up. Becky's a heel. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want to argue that point. They're wrong. Don't anyone tell you that she's not a heel. She's wrong also. Because she's a heel. And here's how I know this. Her actions, her attitude, her movements, her sneak attacks, the way WWE books her against heels now, or against baby faces now, she's a heel. And you can say she's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, she's the female Stone Cold Steve Austin. If that makes you feel better, go with God. But she's a heel. I don't think WWE knows how to handle that just yet. So I'm not saying she's a heel forever. But as of right now today, she's a heel. And here's how you know that. Among the many reasons you know that. She beat Charlotte at Hell in a Cell. Beat her. Done. Over. Move on. Close the book. End the chapter. Done. Move on. You're done. That's it. Over. She could have refused the rematch. She could have done whatever. She could have made a spectacle of herself in character, of course. I'm not giving a rematch. I beat her. Bam. Snap your fingers. She's done. Do the head thing. You're out. You're out. You're home. You're done. Okay? But what'd she do? She went after Charlotte. You already won. You proved your point. You did what you said you were going to do, and you won. You beat her. You proved you're the better man. Why do you go after her? Because she's a heel. Because heels have a lot more to prove than just winning and losing. Heels have to prove that they're better because it's ego-driven. Because heels are dominated by ego. 9 times out of 10, heels dominated by ego. So the heel has to go out and prove themselves. If they can't prove themselves, that means they're a failure. They're worthless. And they can't be worthless because they're too wrapped up in their own self-ego. Any successful heel is too wrapped up in his or her own self-ego. That's why she's a heel. You can tell. Sorry if I missed it, but who's your pick to win Crown Jewel? What are we talking about, Joe? We're talking about the main event, which I assume is going to be DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. And they're all 80. They're not all 80. Relax, I'm playing. I don't know. What are my thoughts? Hey, I'm sorry. I will get back to it. What are my thoughts on Becky and Edge? Another reason why, that they're booking Becky as a heel is that they had Edge, who is one of the most popular baby faces of all time. The one guy that no one has anything negative to say about. You can pick any beloved baby face on that roster, and of all of them that you've ever seen, you're hard-pressed to find something negative to say about Edge, because all he wanted to do was be there. All he wanted to do was do 150%. He didn't play backstage politics. He didn't work his way into a WrestleMania. He didn't lie, didn't cheat, didn't steal. Love Eddie Guerrero. It's not the same thing. He did everything in his power to entertain you. Okay? And you appreciate that. And I've never heard anyone that doesn't like Edge for any reason at all. And he couldn't get Becky to turn heel. You see what I'm saying? He couldn't get the crowd to turn on Becky. Becky mocked him. Becky's a heel. Because babyface wouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? And she did it to one of the most beloved babyfaces of all time. The crowd just went, ooh. Instead of, wow, that was kind of a crappy thing for her to say. Well, guys? You're right, Tom. Let's turn on her. Didn't happen. See what I'm saying? She's a heel. That's it. Don't get heartburn over it. I love Edge as a heel too, 100%. Yeah, he always gave 100% all the time. You're right. Heels get cheered all the time. You know why? Because people have to be smart. This coming from the guy that writes about pro wrestling, gets paid to do it, and has podcasts and writes and talks to you people about it all the time. And uses insider terms and was in the business and tell you how stuff works and breaks kayfabe constantly. We're all way too smart for our own good. Pro wrestling was much more fun when it was a mystery, when you weren't sure, but you were kind of, is this real? But you didn't know. Vince hadn't pulled back the curtain and said, this is sports entertainment. He hadn't done that yet, right? It was much more fun then because you could suspend your disbelief. Hard to do that now because everybody's smart. Well, I'm smart. I'm going to cheer for the Hills because I like cheering for the Hills. Shut up. Shut up. And don't listen. This thing about, I paid my money, Tom. I can do what I want when I want. You paid your money to go not enjoy the show. Is that you just don't want to? Come on. You don't want to enjoy the show. What? I don't know. I'm going to get something out of Raw. I'm going to see Ring of Honor in January. I'm going to get something out of that too. I want to enjoy the show, folks. I'm going to boo the heels. I'm going to cheer the faces. I'm going to play along. That's what I want to do. That's me talking. So, let's see. Is Ray back on the main roster for good? No, he's back, Andrew. Is your name Andrew Jackson? Well, that's awesome. Yes, President Jackson. He is back for good. He signed a 2-year deal. He wanted 18 months. Dave and I think I got this discussion last week. Ray wanted 18 months or a year, 18 months, and WB talked him into 2 years. So he signed a 2-year deal with the option to opt out at 18 months. So yeah, he's back. In my opinion, not because I don't like Ray. I like Ray just fine. I think Ray should be used for special occasions. As far as full-time, should he be on the show every week? Sure. But should he be wrestling every week? Maybe not. That's just me talking. But I think he's an attraction at this point. It doesn't mean he can't do anything. I just think that when you have a guy at this stage in his career, he doesn't need to be there every single week, night in, night out, every single week. He can pick and choose his time. And hopefully that's what they do with him. Here's how I see it. If you pigeonhole a wrestler as one thing or another, they don't grow as a wrestler. Back to the Hogan going to NWO, he sold it because he got people angry at him. It was time to turn, just like it's Becky time to turn. They turned Becky. You're right. They did turn Becky. It's not WWE's fault the fans aren't playing along. Robbie makes an excellent point. I didn't say keep Becky in one spot. But put it this way. It wasn't Becky's time to turn. Storyline-wise, sure. But I think, first of all, it was ill-advised. The moment that, listen, they pulled back on Bayley and Sasha. Why? Because it didn't work. It was obvious it didn't work. They could have pulled back. They didn't want to do it twice. That's why. They could have pulled back, and then they had to change all their plans. They could have pulled back. They didn't. They're moving forward because they say she's heel. They're booking her as a heel. I just ranted for 5 minutes about how she is a heel. She is. It's not working because people don't accept her as a heel. It's not her fault. It's not really your fault. It's the company's fault. They pulled the trigger at the wrong time. They wanted the shock value of, hey, she's heel. And they throw it in your face and, oh, she turned. In my opinion, the build-up wasn't enough. I didn't need a shock value turn. I needed to see months and months of frustration building up. And they tried to tell the backstory later. It didn't work for me personally. I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? Some heel turns you feel like, oh God, it was time. I didn't think it was for her. And I know it would have been routine if Charlotte had been the one to turn heel, but in my opinion, it should have happened. Having said all that, we continue to talk about Becky. She's the hottest thing in the company, so evidently it was good for her. And if it's good for her and puts her in the headlines, maybe puts more money in her pocket, gets her talked. Sure, yeah, do it. You know, see what I'm saying? I can roll with the punches, man. It's all good to me. Thanks, Brent. Luke says, Sergeant, Becky is 10 times better than Charlotte. Your opinion, that's cool. Becky's very good. I'm not going to sit here and get into a discussion of who's better than who or whatever. Becky's a workhorse. Becky is the Seth Rollins of the women's division. It's me. Me talking. That's how I feel. The one quote that I love from Becky Lynch, she was on Austin's podcast, Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. You know another Austin? Don't say Aries. Thought you had me, didn't you? So, she was on Austin's podcast, and he said, how long do you plan on doing this? She said, till the wheels fall off. That tells you what you need to know. Becky Lynch didn't show up to be a model. Becky Lynch doesn't care about having her own reality show. She doesn't care about being on the cover of Cosmo. Becky Lynch doesn't care about selling you some perfume with her name on it. or getting her nails done and showing them off to the girls. Becky Lynch is a workhorse. She wants to be a pro wrestler. The difference. Okay? A lot of women do, and they are, and kudos to them because they pay respect to the business. That's what I appreciate. That's me talking. Take that and spin it however you want. So, that'd be rumor said DX and the Brothers Destruction match is going to be long. Oh, God. 8 minutes. Yeah, you're probably right. Of the four, you would have to say that Kane and Triple H would be the two most solid because they've been doing it more consistently. Shawn will surprise you. Maybe not, because you know he's still got the moves. I think Shawn will surprise people because he's going to be that good. Whether or not you're going to care is another matter altogether. Let's see. It is hard to be a pro wrestler on WWE. Yes, Dave, but Dave, my man, be easy that we, not just you, me too. Well, a lot of us don't fall into the trap of this is sports entertainment. Dolph goes on whatever newscast he was on. Well, thanks for calling me a pro wrestler, but I was watching pro wrestling when I was a kid, but I'm a sports entertainer. Dolph, how much money did you get that day to say that? Come on, man. Jeez. As long as there is a 20x20 ring in the arena, it's pro wrestling. You know what the men and women think of themselves as. They're going to say whatever's politically correct. You think Seth Rollins goes around saying, all my life I wanted to be a sports entertainer? No, come on. They're pro wrestlers. You can get mixed up in that and get stuck on if you want to. I'm not going to because I'm not buying it. Triple H and Vince are going very hard on CM Punk. They didn't treat him right because Punk should be in the main event for WrestleMania. If I was CM Punk, I would cuss at Vince face, demand a main event at WrestleMania. He shouldn't walk out of the company. That's not how it works. John, I'm with you, brother, but that was 4 years ago. I think we've moved on from then, and Punk has too. If you're going to ask me my feelings on the situation, I said this on the show, I think more than one time. They fired Punk via FedEx on his wedding day. That's all you need to know about how the company felt about him, about where they were with him, and how much they really valued him as a performer. They fired him via FedEx on his wedding day, and they knew it was his wedding day. That's all you need to know. If you're Punk, you don't come back from that, and I don't know why you would. It's pointless. That's like going back to an ex that treated you really bad, like and did something heinous to you, and you take them back anyway. Well, now it's your fault. It wasn't your fault before necessarily. You probably had a hand in it, but that person didn't need to do what they did. Well, now it's your fault if you take them back. You're the idiot. I don't think Punk's an idiot by any means. So, let's see. WWE's getting paid a lot. Yeah, they are. The rumor mill has it that Shawn's getting $10 million. Shawn backing up the money truck, baby. So, and you know what? Good for him. That's all good to me. Cool with me all day long. So, what else happened? The Miz defeated Rusev with the help of Aiden English. Gave him a high five at the end of the match. It was not much happened on the event, man. They had a lot of flashbacks and stuff. The Usos defeated Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles because in the world of WWE, when you got two guys who are going to work each other, you make them a tag team first. So they can get heat. Just once, I'd like to see a tag team put together like that. Say, look, we have to team together tonight. You and I both know how this works. You're going to screw up in there, or I am. You're going to hit me accidentally, or I'm going to hit you accidentally. Or you're going to get tripped, or I'm going to get tripped, and you're going to turn around, you're going to blame me, and I'm going to tell you it wasn't me, and you're not going to believe it. Or I'm going to do the same for you, you're going to do it to me. We're going to do back and forth this nonsense. You've been watching wrestling your whole life like I have. Let's don't do that. Let's just agree to disagree and say, if something happens tonight, I'm going to take your head off, and if I do something to you, you can take my head off too, or you can try. Deal? Not going to happen, because then it peels back the curtain. They're all about kayfabe when it matters. Not when it matters, but when it's important to them, they're all about kayfabe. Most of the time, they just want to show you Dolph and Miz in the front row at the Lakers game going like this when they were working each other 2 weeks before. I don't know. I vent. I rant. It's who I am. Imagine living with this. It's not easy, from what I've been told. So that was it for the show, man. So let's see. What about Austin Aries walking out? I'm not convinced that... first of all, I'm not convinced they didn't know about that. Thirsty, my apologies. I'm not convinced they didn't know about that. Second off, if you're Austin Aries, what is your problem? You're featured in the main event of a pay-per-view as a world champion. What's your problem, man? I can't speak to the Austin Allen situation because I don't watch Impact religiously, full-time every week. I catch what I can. I can't speak to it on those terms, but I will tell you this. If you believe anything Jim Cornette has said, and by the way, Jim doesn't speak foul of Austin. He just tells you what happened. You can choose to believe that or not. It's completely up to you. And if you choose not to, I completely understand why. Jim's a polarizing guy, right? But he has said on more than one occasion, I told the story on more than one occasion about what happened when he was in Ring of Honor and the way Austin acted and talked and behaved. And he's like, look, you gotta watch what you're doing. You know, you're getting opportunities. We're giving you stuff. You're doing well. You know, they don't pay me enough to keep my mouth shut. And evidently, he's took that train of thought everywhere he's ever been. Austin strikes me as a very unhappy cat. That's how I feel. I think he's just a very unhappy guy. I don't know what his problem is. If you're that unhappy, get out and go do something else. Go do something else for a living. Try sweeping floors for a living. Okay? Try cutting meat for a living in a grocery store. Try flipping burgers at Burger King for a living and barely have enough to feed your family that week. And tell me how hard your life is after that. Now, I'm not saying he should keep his mouth shut if he feels he's been wronged. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve what he gets paid because he's risking his life every time he gets in there, because he is. And I don't fault him for getting paid. Don't misunderstand me. But let's put this thing into perspective. That dude's that upset, and he just worked the main event of a pay-per-view for a company that's been around for 15, 16 years now. The main event of that night, and he's as upset? Come on. What? It just seems like some people don't know how to pick and choose what hill they choose to die on, and he doesn't know how to do that. And from what we understand, you can only base what you know on what you see, right? From what we've seen over the years, he's never been happy anywhere he's ever been. I've been around people like that, and that thing's like a virus. It just infects everyone around you. Everyone gets miserable. Batista versus Triple H one more time. Loser must retire for WrestleMania 35. Will it happen? I don't think there's going to be a loser leaves town or retirement stipulation ever again in that company, because that won't mean anything. Interesting point, Jonathan. Brings up another good point. I think the retirement angles are done in that company because Shawn coming back, and they should be. You know? Yeah, I think it'll happen. I don't know if it'll be Mania, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Good call on Mania, by the way. Put Aleister Black on SmackDown, started a feud with Randy Orton. I love Aleister Black. This is going to sound negative toward Randy. I don't mean it to. Do you feed him to Randy Orton, though? I mean, at this stage of the game? Plus, I fear for Aleister Black going anywhere. And I know it's an odd comparison, but look what they did to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's a catchphrase. He was evil, mean, and nasty in NXT, and that is a catchphrase. Come on. Having said that, I love Aleister Black. I loved his return on NXT. I love the back and forth. God, her name's escaping me at the moment. Nikki Cross, excuse me. I love that back and forth. Awesome stuff. They make a good little combo. I wouldn't mind seeing them hanging out together. I'm not talking about his boyfriend and girlfriend, all that other stuff they do on WWE programming. I got you a rose. There's some flowers for you. Was that Scottish? That was more Scottish than it was British, wasn't it? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway. So I don't want to necessarily see that, but I think physically, from an aesthetic point of view, they look good together. I love Aleister Black. Let's see. I wish SmackDown should put WWE champion on Bobby Roode if he didn't trade. Yeah. Aries was screwed by WWE. I never heard of him being a problem until he went to WWE. He had every right to be upset about how he was booked there. As for TNA, I need more info on what happened. But see, supposedly, as I said before, Jim said he was unhappy in Ring of Honor as well. He was always unhappy. I don't believe that WWE was the first place he went to that he got unhappy. That's me. I don't see that. Plus, he's done stuff before. Remember that night in Impact Wrestling when he got up on the second turnbuckle and stuck his crotch in SoCal Val's face? Wasn't it SoCal Val did that too? And she's obviously going, dude, stop. I know that was a minor thing. It didn't seem minor to her. You know what I mean? That's just me. What's up, Danny? I wish Beer Money would come to WWE. Boy, that was an interesting thing with James Storm. In and out, one match and he's done. That was interesting. I don't know what happened there. According to him, it just wasn't. He didn't care for it at the time, the offer, and he's just like, I'm done. It's cool. He's still been working, right? So it's all good. Let's see. When was this? He worked in Ring of Honor before. Yeah, he was in Ring of Honor. Was it Ring of Honor? Am I thinking of Impact? Because Jim worked for Ring of Honor and for TNA. So, and he was a guy behind the scenes in both companies for a while. So yeah, it's one of the two. But I remember him saying that. In fact, it was just yesterday I was listening to that show, that he had a problem with him then. And he's like, I don't know why you're so unhappy. We're doing everything we can for you. And it wasn't enough. He was unhappy then as well. Look it up, Dave. I couldn't tell you when he did it. YouTube it. YouTube Austin Aries, SoCal Val. In fact, now you got me thinking about it. I can't really show you, and I can't let you hear it, because if I do, they'll just pull it down off Facebook because of copyright and all that stuff. So, Austin Aries, SoCal Val. Let's see. Now that I tell you that, now was it Christy Hemme? I don't think it was. It Christy Hemme? Maybe it was. Let's see. No, can't see that there either. That's weird. Yeah, I know I didn't dream that, man. I'm not going to tell you what I'm typing because it's kind of not dirty, but you have to get it in there somehow. By the way, never go on YouTube and type the word crotch. You're going to get a bunch of stuff you probably don't want. I'm sorry. That was unprofessional. So, let's see. Maybe it was. I don't know. Yeah, it was live when I saw it. I can't remember if it was pay-per-view, if it was on a taping, but I saw it and I was like, oh my God, he did that. Maybe it was a work. It's possible. You know what they say about pro wrestling, man? Everything's work. So, hit me with some other stuff there if you find something. I'd like to know where the link is, or send it to me or whatever. Because I remember at the time he played it off like it wasn't a big deal. He just acted like he didn't care. And at the time he was like, well, I'm in character, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, what? Who would you want to go to WWE from Lucha Underground? I've been trying to give Lucha Underground another chance here lately. I was just watching a couple episodes before I went live here today. And I've got a ton on my DVR that I haven't watched. I just got out of it. The theatrical part of it's fine. And sometimes it's a bit much for me. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I still enjoy it and still enjoyed it for a while, but I let it go. Who would I want to see? I think that Willie Mack. Willie Mack's in Impact now, I think. Man, for a guy his size, he can work, dude. He can move, too, for real. Yeah, someone just said William Mack should go to WWE. This guy is so talented. Yeah, he is underrated. I like Lucha Underground. So, listen, I want to jump to the last part of this particular episode. And I want to get your guys' take on it. And I want to talk about this. The Bullet Club. Everybody do this. Okay. If you're listening to the show and not watching the show, you know exactly what I'm just doing just now. Bullet Club has been up to some verbal battles on Twitter as of late. And it's all thanks to your boy Tama Tonga. The bad boy, Tama Tonga. So he's been going off on Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, whoever else. And I'm sure it's 100% kayfabe. I get it. And I love that about Tama, that he's willing to stick to it. Some of it's maybe really him, but he keeps saying good luck in WWE to all of them. Now, here's the issue I have with this. If they were really gone, do you think they would announce it like this? And I can tell you this, if there had been a phone call or a conversation or anyone had been privy to a conversation, it would have been printed online by now. That's what I believe. It's entirely possible that Cody had a phone call with Hunter or someone else, maybe not that dramatic, behind the scenes, on his own cell phone. It didn't tell his soul. Sure. How do we know that he didn't? How do we know none of them didn't at this point? I don't know that. You don't know it either, right? So we're all sort of in the dark on this thing, right? But yeah, they've been on Twitter and this thing with the Bullet Club back and forth. Tom is living the role, living the part, 110%. Cody was on Twitter and asked if Trent Beretta deserved a shot at the NJPW IWGP United States Championship. Tom replies with 100%. He's been here in New Japan putting the work in all day, day in, day out for years. The more important question, did you? Absolutely effing not. Right? It's good stuff, man. Carl Anderson, which Tom a happy birthday, says much love. OG might need you to handle some OGBC business if it goes unsettled over here. So he's even talking to the WWE guys. Finn wished him a happy birthday as well. Got some ex-members coming your way. Don't forget what they did to you. He's stoking the fires, man. Would Tama get WWE free press like that? And it's in storyline. You gotta love it. I dig it, man. I'm digging this hard. I don't think that it's letting the cat out of the bag on anything. I think when they officially start talking to WWE, you're going to know it. I don't think they're going to be able to keep it quiet because people talk. People talk to each other, to promoters, to guys around them. Those guys talk to dirt sheets. It just happens, and I think it's going to get out. I'd rather it be a surprise. I would rather they all stay in the independent scene, not because I don't want to see them in WWE, but because I don't want to see them in WWE. You know why? Because I don't think WWE needs them at this point. They got so much talent, and they're signing more talent as it goes by. By the way, shout out to Punishment Martinez. I did interview Punishment Martinez on the show several episodes ago. Go check that one out, if you will. He is officially signed with WWE. He's at the Performance Center now, Luis Martinez, until they decide to call him whatever they're going to call him, or maybe that'll be his name. Cut all his hair, shaved his head. What? The hair's gone, man. Change his look. Good on him, and good luck to him. All the best to him being a member of the WWE roster now. So, yeah, good for all of them for having it happen. But let's see. Cody also tweeted, wrestlers have never been more responsible, more talented and responsible. The people in charge of wrestlers have never been more clueless and irresponsible. Tama replied and said, lying to the fans to get them to buy your merchandise, is that responsible? Cease and desist, my effing A. We don't curse here on the show. Let's start with being truthful first. Man, he's going off. Let's see. We were here before. We were here during. We'll be here after. Good luck in WWE. Adam Page coming out with his last Bullet Club affiliate t-shirt. Ha! Who the F were you before then? Exactly. Good luck in WWE. The Elite doesn't exist without Bullet Club. Good luck in WWE. New shirt up that won't be my last one affiliated with Bullet Club because we are Bullet Club. Oh, and it's by far my favorite one. It's a cool shirt, by the way. Y'all wanted to go to war not knowing I'm the only one here who's ever been in a real one. If you don't follow Tama Tonga on here, you have got to follow Tama Tonga on here. He's just so entertaining. Kenny Omega says, dang, I shouldn't have called you out for the Freddy Krueger act. Personally, I like it when you say curse word a lot. I guess entry-level salary can't afford multiple fines a year, huh? Let's hope those Funko Pop sales help ease the burden during the holiday season. LOL, no, you're fine. You know I love me a little competition. I just don't run to your boyfriend Dave Meltzer crying about how it's not fun anymore. Oops. Man, is this entertaining. Dude, if you just want some laughs and want some cool stuff to watch, just go watch Tama Tonga's Facebook feed. Twitter feed, excuse me. Joshua says, good day, mate. Is Joshua in Australia? Tell me you are. How's the contract? What was it you were asking me about Pentagon and Phoenix? The word is they're not coming. They've hit a wall. I wrote about this a few weeks ago. That they're booked up and they can't get out, and that's where they are. Now, WWE can move heaven and earth to get whoever they want, anytime they want. Don't fool yourself into thinking that they can't. But as of right now, this moment, it doesn't look good for them right now. A year from now, maybe. 6 months from now, maybe. Right now, it doesn't look too good. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I was reading on Twitter, yes, Jonathan. It's Tama Tonga, actually. Let's see. Thing is, WWE isn't doing anything with the Bullet Club members now. Jim has an excellent point. They've already got Bullet Club guys. They're not doing much with them. Finn, Gallows, Anderson. They're doing some stuff with the one guy. AJ Styles. 346 days as WWE champion. But I get where you're coming from. I would love to see the Bullet Club debut like the Shield did. Yeah, gosh, just imagine if they brought in Bullet Club, if they brought in Omega and the Bucks. I mean, and Cody. Jeez, that would be huge. They couldn't call themselves Bullet Club. They couldn't call themselves the Club. Couldn't call themselves Balor Club. It's the Cody Club. They love the word club over there, don't they? But yeah, I don't know. Will Shield stay together? So anything you guys want to talk about the Bullet Club, hit me. I'm all ears, man. I'd love to hear about it. Love to talk about it. We can move on and talk about some other stuff too. Let's see. Will Shield stay together? Sure. I think they proved on this past Monday Night Raw, because once again they had the miscommunication. Once again, Dean around saying, "What are you doing?" And they ended up winning the match because they kept toughing it out. I think they made the point. They told that story. I think they've moved on now. I didn't think Dean was going to leave like this. I did write the column last week, has Dean Ambrose outgrown the Shield? It's more of a question than a statement, because I want to know what people thought and gave you my opinion on it. But honestly, I think they told that story. I think the point of the story was that, it's been a while since the three of them have worked together like this. Dean had some growing pains, getting used to everybody again, trying to understand what his place is in this group, what his place is in this world, because he's not really sure anymore. He doesn't feel it like he used to. And then it's like, just like three brothers, just like family, you take your bumps and bruises together. You might hate each other for a while and beat up each other for a while, but then you come back together as family, and that's what's happened on this past Raw. That's my feeling on it. Drew, the guy to take down is Roman. I think Drew's great. I think he's doing fine. I don't think you need to rush Drew at all. I think they've got plenty of time to do with Drew as they want to. And do I think he'd be a viable challenger for Roman Reigns? 150% yes. Yeah, man from Australia could see Ballet Club versus Bullet Club. Ballet Club, as it were. Yeah, sure, I'd go for that. Dean is the Shield. He always comes to their aid. Yeah, no doubt about it. Naito is an awesome worker, so underrated. Dave is wrong. Everyone tell Dave he's wrong. Shame him. Naito is a excellent worker. I don't think he's underrated. I think anyone in the business recognizes how good Naito is. I see where you're coming from, though. But yeah, Naito is... Dude, just imagine this. Shinsuke already had the entire character part of his presentation down before he ever set foot in WWE. Has he been allowed to do that? Not really. He's not really been the king of strong style in WWE. The matches are more controlled. The environments are more controlled than that. Of course, tell that to Brie Bella. Knee to the face. Relax. Anyway, so that he couldn't really cut loose. But just imagine if they could be who they are and go WWE. Naito doesn't need a coach to tell him what to say, how to act. Now, Naito, here's what happens. You're going to be disappointed. And you're going to want to get revenge, so you just sit there and look at him real mean. He would never need that. Okada wouldn't need that. Tanahashi would never need that. Psychology is a huge part of what they do in New Japan. It's not just, finish a move to break your back and then you kick at it too. There's a lot of that. There's too much of it, in my opinion. But there's a lot of psychology going on in New Japan. The difference is between WWE and New Japan, we don't talk it to death. New Japan doesn't focus on it. They focus on the matches. And you got to love that. So, what are your thoughts of the Aussie wrestlers coming through pro wrestling at the moment? Joshua, give me some names. Give me some names, if you will. I don't want to play dumb with you. I want to know who you're talking about. Let's see. Brothers of Destruction. Man, our audience has dwindled here shortly in the past few moments, hasn't it? Speaking of New Japan, I got Los Ingobernables on my TV right now. This was the night when Shingo, right, was introduced as the newest member of the Bullet Club. I got Bullet Club on the brain now. Introduced as the newest member of LIJ. So, yeah. Entertaining. I like this stuff a lot. I really do. I like this kind of theatrics. NJPW does have storylines. It's just that the storylines, they're not talking it to death. It is in the ring. That's where you should be telling the story. They get their chances at press conferences before and after and contract signings. Excuse me. They love the press conference format in New Japan. And I think they do have storylines, for sure. It's just not as overly dramatic. And plus, Kevin Kelly's a big part of that too. Kevin Kelly's a big part of telling you what's been happening and linking everything together. last week's show that you may have missed, or last month's show, or what happened 2 years ago. He links everything together. His job in New Japan, I think, is more important than Michael Cole's job, because Michael Cole's being directed, and all he's got to do is yell, "It's boss time!" And the big dog, because that's what he does. He has a seizure when he says it. Saying. I think it's much harder job than Cole ever has. I can't imagine the stack of notes that Kevin Kelly has in front of him, or how much of it's really in his head. Maybe a little bit of both, right? Much harder job in my estimation. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Someone's asking how to find the show. God bless you, good people out there in internet land. By the way, I've not done this at all. How do you think the All Women pay-per-view will go? Will it sell out? I don't think it's sold out yet, Ricky. I hope it does. It needs to. I really want it to be a success. I've said that multiple times. I said that earlier in the show. 100% I hope it's a major success. I haven't asked for this at all during the course of this broadcast here today, but I'm going to go ahead and hit you right now. If any of us are not friends on the Facebook, please send me your... I'm going to tell you, send me a friend request. Don't do it. There's 1,000 of Tom Clarks on Facebook. Don't try to find me. Send me a message on Wrestling Rumors Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, Tom, what's up?" And I will answer. And I will send you a request. Ask anyone that's done it to me so far, and they will tell you I did it for them. Testify, people. Speak up and tell them I did it. Look at all the thumbs up. Yay! I love that. See, there's 2 in that ladies tournament. The iconic Buddy. Oh, I like Buddy Murphy. Yeah. Oh, no. Josh says 5 a.m. there. Josh, get some sleep, my man. Josh, are we friends on Facebook? Forgive me for not remembering, man. I get a lot of friend requests in the past month. It's been awesome, and thank you guys. I love Buddy Murphy. I do. I think in any other environment, I'm not going to say world champion, because that's, try saddling anybody with that. And I'm not going to judge a guy based on whether or not he's world champion in the first place. In any other environment, Buddy Murphy is on the top tier, upper echelon of guys. Put Buddy Murphy in New Japan. He'd probably be a super junior at first, but then he would move his way up for sure. I think that he is an excellent cruiserweight, but at the same time, do I think he can cross over? Sure. Do I think he needs something else? Maybe. In that company, yeah. I don't know that he needs that much. But yeah, I'm a Buddy Murphy fan, 100%. Let's see. Shannon says he speaks the truth. Shannon, are you were talking about me? Thank you very much. Oh, the Tegan Knox injury. So I've yet to watch that match because I'm behind on the Mae Young Classic, folks. My apologies on that. I got to get caught up, man. But I feel really bad for her. She was extremely emotional backstage. Hunter came backstage, tried to console her. They put the WWE cameras on it, which, if you're her in that moment, do you want that on camera? I mean, is she in a position where she could say, "Please don't film this. Turn the camera off," or put a towel over her head because she don't want to face it? I don't know that she has I don't know if she has to say so at that point, or if the guys even asked her, "Do you care if we?" I don't know what happened. I can guess, but I don't know. Okay, but I feel bad for her. She's had surgery already, and all the best to her. Speedy recovery. Get back in the ring. I do like her quite a bit. A lot of heart. You know what that is? That's heart. I'm going to get emotional talking about it. I love this stuff. You guys know that, right? I'm a true fan, man. When I see someone get that emotional over getting hurt in a pro wrestling ring, that's passion. I wish everyone had that. I wish we as fans had enough of that. I mean, we've got it, but I'm saying it's not the same as what they have because they're living, breathing, eating this stuff all the time, you know? That's passion. That's someone that's like, I had my shot, and look what happened. But all the best to her. And she'll be fine. She'll probably come back stronger than ever, I'm sure. Danny says Buddy Murphy did the right thing by going to the cruiserweight. Yeah, because at least he has something going on, 100%. Well, you know, they made the right move by putting him there, Buddy, for sure. Tegan Knox match was hard to watch. Yeah, 100%. I think there's also a wrestler by the name of Robbie Eagle. Yeah. Okay, Robbie Eagle was on New Japan last night. Okay, yesterday morning, however the time works. In fact, I just watched it. It was Robbie Eagle and, oh God. I can't remember his name from Bullet Club. They're in the Super Juniors Tag Team Tournament right now in New Japan. So yeah, he's there. He is Australian. Well done. I forgot about that cat. Yeah, Knox tried to finish the match because that's what you do. Good call, by the way. Very good call. Yeah, TM61 that they're not calling the Mighty. Same guys, right? Yeah, you're right. My apologies for not putting the pieces together. Yeah, you're right. He's one of New Japan. And he looks good. And he's a good little worker too. I don't say that disrespectfully. He's a good little worker. I think it's great, man. Listen, the international flair. And by the way, the first Chinese pro wrestler that WWE has signed. I think he's the first, isn't he? So there was the guy that was in the cruiserweight tournament, and I forgive me for not remembering his name. Was he Chinese? I think said he started the first. Someone look that up for me. The first pro wrestling promotion in China. So I don't know if you could say that this other guy is the first, and I apologize for not getting the names, man. But I saw him on there, got squashed. But he's there, right? Let's see. Yep, the few Aussies getting out there. I love it. I love the international flavor. I love that idea that, people from all over the world can come in and get a shot. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. By the way, I did the update on my MacBook yesterday, and I've got all kinds of new little icons at the bottom of the screen. I have no idea what's going on. Any of you out there have a MacBook? By the way, smartest investment I ever made, and I got to write this sucker off of my taxes as well. Business expense. You gotta love it. Bing. Yes, he did make his NXT debut. Yeah. He was on the last episode of NXT. Yeah. Bing, thank you. Now it's going to make me think of Chandler Bing from Friends. That's like the whitest comedy you've ever seen is Friends. No soul in that show. No soul at all. No soul, Don Simmons. Go look that up from the Kentucky Fried Movie. Thank you very much. So Miles Martin says, are you ready? Are you ready? So we're going to go see Raw on October 29th. I've told you guys that multiple times. And it's the go-home show for Crown Jewel. Well, SmackDown, I guess, is. But I hope Taker's there. I'd like my kid to be able to say, saw The Undertaker live. For real. Well, or dead. Because, he's the dead man. Crickets. So, I hope he's there. I hope Sean's there. I want to see these guys live. I remember going to see Vengeance when it was in Charlotte. And it was the year that they had the ECW guys there. And I think that Hunter and Sean worked the Spirit Squad. And it was a joke of a match. But Sean does that thing where he gets up on the second rope and he claps his hands and he points out in the crowd. And this makes no sense to anyone because this didn't really happen at all. But he looks right at me. Now, he didn't. He probably looked at the guy next to me or the chick behind me that was gorgeous. But in my head, he looked right at me because it looked like he did. And he just smiled and went like that. That's how a guy makes a connection. You know what I mean? In a crowd of that many people. How does a guy connect? Because he singles people out one-on-one. And you see them do this. The good ones do this, right? And I'm sure they're all coached on this to a certain degree. They single you out one by one. Do that to you. I went to see Joe Satriani. By the way, amazing show. Went to see him in Durham. And his guitar, his rhythm guitarist did the same thing. We were all standing up and clapping. It might have been at the end. And he stood and pointed. Again, it looked like he pointed at me. And he said, thank you. And that was a cool thing. And again, he ain't talking to me. He doesn't know who I am. Doesn't know me from Adam, as it were. But the fact is, I felt a connection. That's what the best pro wrestlers do. They make you feel like you're connected to the show, to them, to the event, to everything involved. So, that's right. Umberto, don't let me mispronounce this, Carrillo? That is the nephew of the late Hector Garza. That's right. I wrote a piece about him. He's shaved and done stuff since then. I didn't recognize him. 100% right. Man, I'm kicking myself over that now. Yeah, all the best to them, man. For real. Dave is so late. Dave! Listen, Dave. This is unacceptable, Dave Ross, that shares his last name with the great Marvel Comics painter, Alex Ross. It's unacceptable to be late. I'm never late. Okay, I was late last week. Don't tell anyone. Welcome to the show, Dave. Batista gave him high fives for his live event, and Andrew never forgot that. Andrew never forgot that. Does that mean Andrew's his biggest fan? No. Does that mean Andrew is going to rush to get his autograph? No. Does that mean Andrew is saying Batista should be in the Hall of Fame, is greatest of all time? No. But Andrew, remember that. Do you see what I'm saying? It matters what they do. It really does matter. You think it doesn't because you get jaded by this stuff. I can too from time to time. I'm getting big guilty of it as well. But you remember, don't you? Dave is sorry he was walking the baby. Are we talking about an actual baby or a pet? I don't know. Naman says WWE has ruined Indian wrestlers. I can see where you're coming from. Jinder Mahal was doing fine until he started doing the meditation crap and a little cliche, maybe a little stereotypical, but this is the same company that did Crime Time. Sorry, but a little stereotypical. It doesn't mean that the guys involved believed it was, but just from a distance, yeah, it looked like it was stereotypical. That's me talking. Let's see. Jim says, I stuck my Hogan #1 finger in the Macho King's face and partially tore it and pointed at me. Oh my God, that's awesome. He was 10 at the time. Jim's 80 now, and he's never forgotten it. I don't know how old you are, Jim. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, yeah, moments matter. They mean something. I'm kind of hoping the Shield comes down right where me and my kid are sitting at Raw. We're going to try to fist bump them. I'm going to point to Roman and say, boo, you suck, Roman. I don't like you. You're ruining the business, and I wish they would turn you heel. I'm not going to do any of that. Relax. All right, we're getting ready to take this home, man. We've been talking for over an hour. I think we covered everything I wanted to cover this week. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about real quick? Take it home. We've been doing a little Q&A here. Anything else? 38 going, oh, Jim, I feel you there. Well, I haven't Sasha, Bailey, Finn, or Bray done anything lately because they got nothing to do. Ricky, I don't know. Hopefully they'll do something real soon because I'm a fan of all of them. Yeah, we just talked about Bobby earlier, Dave. You're right. No. I'm not saying they. Yeah, no. But you got to think where Amon. Excuse me. I don't want to get your name wrong. You got to think of where he's coming from too. If you were, not to make it racial because I don't think it has to be. You're right. They could screw up all across the board. But if you think about who looks like you. Okay, so I was the big kid. By the way, I'm 30 pounds down now. Celebrate. Holler at your boy. Yes! 30 pounds, baby. Where was I? So I was always a big kid, right? And part of the reason I was always drawn to Dusty Rhodes was because he was a big guy. Dusty didn't look like your typical pro wrestler. Dusty looked like, he worked at the garage. Dusty looked like he might have been the guy on the tractor in the cornfield. Dusty looked like a regular guy. Dusty looked like me. I got to watch pro wrestling and saw a guy that looked like me. Rick was in shape. Tully was in shape. Arn was in shape. Magnum was an amazing body on Magnum. Same with Nikita. Rock and Roll Express, though, I was a huge fan. They were younger. They were hip. They were cool. I was the ugly fat kid, okay? I looked at Dusty and I said, that guy looks like me. I see me. It's a big deal. For anyone out there that doesn't believe it's a big deal, it's a big deal. And that could go all across the board to every walk of life, to every sexual persuasion, to everything you could possibly imagine. When you see someone on TV or in a movie that looks like you and sounds like you, it's kind of cool. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can understand where the frustration is for folks that look at Raw or SmackDown or whatever WWE puts out and says, how come the Indian wrestlers are treated like a joke? You see what I'm saying? I can see where they're coming from. Yeah, I love Dusty as well. My surrogate father figure, and he never knew it. No, I don't think Juice Robinson will be back to WWE. I think he's having a great career. I think he seems like a happy guy. He's flat out said he has no interest in going back to WWE. Never say never. Don't be surprised if he does eventually one day, but I would think my answer right now at this moment would be no. Who are my picks for 2019 Hall of Fame? I've answered this question before. I really believe that the old NWA guys need some love. Midnight Express need to be in. Nikita Koloff, I think, has a place. Magnum TA has a place. The fact that Wahoo McDaniel, the chief, Wahoo McDaniel, is not in the WWE Hall of Fame is an atrocity. Ric Flair should put him in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be there. Bam Bam Bigelow, sure, of course. But I'm stuck on the NWA guys. I can't help it. NWO and Batista. Batista, I think, will headline next year, Dave, to your point. Oh, boy. So, too many going too fast. Need to have a super spectacular wrestling convention before all of them leave us. I'm trying to see this become a reality. Alma, great point. Okay, so I want to go to the NWA Fan Fest. Legends Fan Fest. I've never been to one. I really want to go. That'll be my next mission, to go to a Fan Fest. I don't know if my kid will care about that one. I have to find somebody to go with me. That'll be fun. I'd go by myself. That'd be fun too. Whatever. All right, man. I think we're going to take this sucker home. Listen, I got to thank you guys once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Remember, if we're not friends on the Facebook, please send me a message in Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger telling me, hey, Tom, it's me. What's up? I will send you a friend request. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's at Tom Clark Writes, WRITES. Please remember, if you have iTunes, please go to iTunes and rate the show, Tom Clark's Main Event. Okay? Leave me a review. Say something really nice. That'd be peachy. Leave me 5 stars if you're so inclined. That would be much appreciated as well. Terry Funk's in the Hall of Fame. I think Terry Funk's in the Hall of Fame. Dang it, Danny. I was going to go. Now I got to do this for you because Danny's high maintenance. Relax, Danny. I joke. Yes, 2009. Terry and Dory Funk. Both very well deserved, by the way. So anyway. Okay. Miles, listen. Brother, just send me a message in Wrestling Rumors Facebook Messenger, please. Saying, hey, Tom, send me a friend request, and I'll send you one, okay? Sound good? It's easier than me going back through the comments trying to find everybody. Trust me, and you won't be able to find me. Hey, Shannon, thanks. And Shannon, come back next week, man. Hang out with us. Everyone tell Shannon, thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, listen, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for the support, for the love. I do greatly appreciate it. I'm going to plug my website, though I got to update it. My apologies for not updating in a while. It's boinkstudios.com. Please check it out. That is my production company. If you need to find me on iTunes, as someone recently said just here on the show, look up Boink Studios on iTunes. You'll find me. I got 3 shows on there. There may be a 4th one coming because, man, I'm all about the comic books, shows, TVs, movies, and all this other stuff. So I want to do that. So I'm thinking about it. So I think that's what I got for you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Keep up with New Japan, the Super Juniors tournament happening right now. It's fun stuff. I'm digging it. You should dig it too. NWA, we got to plug something for our comrades in the NWA. NWA 70. It's the 70th anniversary show. It's coming up on Sunday. It's the rematch, Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis. You got to watch it. Jim Cornette's going to be doing some commentary. Get the Fight TV app. I got it on my TV. You should get it too. I'm going to watch it. I'm looking forward to it. Going to be a good show. I'm hoping it's going to be sweet. So I'm interested in it. I love the NWA, and I hope that the company comes back with a vengeance. I hope they continue to keep getting better. They come back full force. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That's all I got for you. Thanks, man. Listen, I appreciate the love. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Remember to come back next week live, 12 p.m. 12 p.m. There it is, Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. I've been Tom Clark. This is Tom Clark's Main Event. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.